Are you listening?
Good morning. What's up?
Good morning, everybody.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Oh,
morning.
Buenos
Woo.
dias.
It's the morning. It's the morning. I was hoping Stasis Orb would jump in. He's the guy who suggested today's topic. I was reading a statement. I'm like, man, I think we've talked about this plenty.
Yeah, I believe we have talked about this.
Right. But I'm like, if I do a viewer topic and more people want to chip in with topics, I mean, why not? It's a community-based channel. We try to get people involved, and I think this is a good way to show it. That I mean business.
Oh yeah,
Business.
Super cereal.
That's right.
That's right.
Super cereal. All right. Let's see. We got TCG dude. What's up?
Hey. It's Monday, and I'm
It's
sipping some
Monday.
coffee. Ready for the show, buddy.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Oh, that's a fancy
coffee.
Oh yeah, with the it reminds me of something I'd pick up at the Goodwill.
Hey, I do not knock Goodwill. I love Goodwill.
Right,
I love
right.
Bristol. Like, have you ever
me
been to
too.
Have you ever been to the Goodwill outlet stores with the bins?
Not that I know of. No, I've mained more of Value Village and Goodwill kind of direct.
All right, well, check check out Goodwill outlet store near you. See if there's one near you.
Okay.
It's basically things they don't sell at a regular store and things they purposely hoard. And they take all the stuff and they throw them in the bins. And they charge it by the pound. And you basically dump it, is what I like to call it, through these bins for items.
Okay.
So it changes the...
You can get like MTG bulk boxes like that too. I've seen Matt Caster and a few other channels do stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I'll have to get up on that. Thanks for letting me know.
I mean, you can find cool stuff. Like I found this old Game Boy case at the bins.
Ooh, that's fancy.
Yeah.
It holds the Game Boy Advance or the Game Boy Color. Or...
I think the Advance. Let me show you the inside.
Okay.
Right there for the Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
cool.
And there's little slots to hold the games.
Heck yeah.
So you never know what you can find. You can find lots of junk, or you can find some treasures. I even got a Jigglypuff doll that I got from there just for Pokemon, because I collect Pokemon. Never played the game.
I can't figure out where to go to see these bins at.
Well, you have to look up the Goodwill outlet store. They call them outlet stores, but they're known as the Goodwill bins because everything is put into a bin.
I have looked that up and everything. Went to all the Goodwills, but I could not figure out where the bins were.
Right.
Well, yeah, I don't know. The Goodwill CEO got busted for fraud.
Oh.
But he didn't mess with any donations or anything. The government gave him some money and he misappropriated it.
That probably happened.
So he's in big trouble. But the rest of his stuff is fine. All the donations are there, and so your bins are probably still there and everything. So
I just need to figure out where these bins, where I can go get a hold of these bins at.
You can go to Los Angeles, and
I don't want to travel that far.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even think they have one in Reno.
When we got Goodwill,
they have one in Las Vegas. They have one in Reno.
What do they do?
Yeah, I've seen a guy who goes between Utah and Nevada do it.
We got all kinds of Goodwill stores here.
Like they're usually kind of out in the outskirts. Like they're usually kind of out of the way. The best thing to do is like put in your location, the state you're from, and type in Goodwill outlet store near me, and usually it shows you the closest location. There could be a chance you don't have one.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, well, I'd say in the bigger cities they'd have one. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mean big cities like New York and Los, but I mean bigger than Portola.
Right. It's really cool. They're really awesome.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
Billy. Hey, Billy. How are you
Yeah.
doing today? How are you
Doing pretty
today?
good.
Yeah. How was your stream?
My stream wasn't bad at all. Wasn't bad
Yeah.
at all.
Nice. It seemed like a good stream. I was there for half of it. So I woke up late today. Cookie dude,
yeah,
how are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I still gotta figure out my camera so we can play a game.
Right.
But I got it set up though. I mean, I just gotta plug it into my laptop and find a surface to. So whenever you wanna do that, you know. And what was the name of that program that you were talking about? So
It's a website called Spell Table.
Mm-hmm. It's
Val
a browser
table?
based.
Spell Table, yeah. Let's see. I'll throw a link in private chat for you.
Okay.
You can copy it. You'll need
All
to set
right.
up an account with Wizards.
Uh-huh.
And that's a
Okay,
free
I'll do
account.
that.
Yeah, it's a free account.
Okay.
Yep.
Free's always great.
And
Yeah, we like free.
yeah, oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It got really big. It got really big during the COVID lockdown era because
Yeah.
people wanted to play Magic from home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay.
we got a card of the day. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll do it before I continue. Yeah, we'll figure it out this week. Probably Thursday. Probably be my best day to help you out. If you can wait that long.
Thursday. Let me see. I can wait as long as it's necessary.
Well,
But,
unless something opens up in the between here and Tuesday. Wednesday is going to be a busy day for me. Thursday, I have one live show in the morning, and I can finagle around later timings. Friday is kind of a busy day, but like Friday, I'm just trying to get it done faster because I want you to be able to play around with Spell Table and be able to kind of walk you through some of the basic things that you want to know, like flipping your camera around and whatnot. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some nuances to it for sure.
So I got whatever. It's, the only day I'm busy is today, and which you're not going to do it, and then the 21st I'm busy. But between now and the 21st, if you got free time.
Tomorrow I will not be streaming.
All right.
Well, why
Tomorrow-
not? Is it
tomorrow,
personal?
tomorrow my mom has been gone for a year.
Oh goodness.
Uh,
Sorry about that.
That's a sad anniversary, and I'm glad you're respecting it.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Hmm.
We'll be thinking about you, and So
Appreciate it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. And with that information, we're going to segue as positively as we can into the card of the day.
Card of the day.
Well, it's funny that TCG dude threw me a card that he wanted for the card of the day, and I was in the same realm as him, so I was originally going to pick up Boros Archangel here. I'm
wow.
I love Boros Archangel, but TCG dude's like, hey, dude, look at this. Risk
Oh my
growth.
God.
Mm-hmm.
Risk growth. Pretty solid card. So Risk growth becomes the card of the day because it's fancy, it's cool, it's a tri-land, it enters the battlefield. It's a whole little cycle from.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that set symbol.
Plane shift.
Plane Chase. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
And plane and this set had like 5 different layers, I believe, 5 or 4.
Yep.
And
Yep. It had a cycle of 5. Yep.
and when these lands come to play, you return another land to the battlefield. But the nice thing about these lands, they don't enter the field tap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this particular land taps for red, green, and white, which is pretty solid.
So it's kind of like a triome.
And it's kind
It
of funny because I
is.
do have a copy of this type of land from one of the newer sets. That I need to throw in a Eldrazi deck.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Yeah, I think it was recently reprinted in Dominaria Remastered in a modern frame.
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
that kind of thing going on. It's pretty neat, but it's a really good cycle. It's a really good land.
Mhm.
I didn't have enough time to I was gonna kind of spam it out and add all 5 lands there, but I didn't have enough time to Photoshop that thing together to make them all one picture.
Ah.
Yeah, I woke up late.
Yeah,
All good.
But it's a good
that's
land.
all
So thank
good.
you for sharing that, TCG dude.
Yeah.
fact-
Hey, before you bounce off of that though, thanks for mentioning its features as a card. One of the things I was thinking as a cool kind of prediction, possibly, is what if Lair were to return in Ravnica Remastered? They just had that ace up their sleeve. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, it'd be cool if they brought Lair back in general as a land type, like they kind of did with Cave. I don't know if Cave
Yeah.
was ever a land type before, but kind of make a subset of layers. So I know
Right.
because I know it wasn't. You got vaults that are lands. I know you got these layers as lands because like even the newer versions are considered layer raw lands on top of not being basic. So that's pretty cool. And TCG Dude's link is in the chat if you want to check out his channel. Like I said, if you request the card of the day and you get shouted out, you get the full ride of getting shilled out. Even though I'd put his link in the chat anyways.
Oh goodness, thank you, sir.
Wow. Yep. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so
all these
honestly,
cards are
I'm on the
new to
hunt
me.
for a foil version of that. It's about $10 right now.
Oh wow. I would never get. That's good value.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That means I saw the other land you got the other day that you posted on Discord.
Yeah, Taiga,
That one
baby.
got a little spicy on the budget end of expensive.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of fluff sitting around. Just I'd say bulk rares, but a lot of $2, $3, some $5s, and then a couple heavy hitters like Mana Drain that I had like 4 or 5 copies of, and I was like, well, I don't have a dual land yet, and right now they're kind of down in the 200s range for moderate played, which I'm totally okay with. I'm not going to be particular about getting near mint because I'm not grading the card. I'm actually going to play it, so I'm going to put more wear on it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny
Yes.
because the other day Twiddler was showing, not the other day, other week, Twiddler was showing cards between him and Dual Brain were auctioning off, and they're showing some BGS graded stuff or just graded cards. And I'm like, what the sad fact is if I went into the auction and bought the card and won it, I said the sad thing is I'd break that out of the case so I can play the card.
Wow. Oh,
Well,
my
like
goodness.
you said yesterday, the cards are game pieces, so why not?
They
No,
are.
So would you play with a $50 card? I mean, if you had a
I've
$50
played with
card.
$100 card.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do the shuffle and everything. It's kind of the risk that you take, that's why you double sleeve your cards in case somebody spills their drink, or if you drop it on the ground, you don't want to dent the card.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right. Let's get to the picture of the day. This one I found last night scrolling through Facebook. I believe the people who shared it are mentioned in the picture. Very colorful, kind of hard to read. But boom.
It's always cold. I'm surrounded by midgets. The rangers stink.
Mm-hmm.
And if you must know, I never really liked kids.
Right.
Poor
Yeah.
Santa.
This was done brought to us by Restoration by Ox. I don't know who they are. Found them on Facebook, but I thought the picture was pretty funny. Like Santa really hates what he's best known for.
Yeah.
Oh, hilarious!
He's
It's
a
a far
Scrooge
side
in
comic.
disguise.
Yep,
Scrooge in disguise. Yes.
Oh
that's
goodness.
right. Yep.
Oh,
Hold on, let that come up. All right, chat. Oh, hello, Brand. Hi. So the topic of today, like I said earlier, I think we've covered this in many different ways. But like I said, it was suggested, and I'm like, oh yeah, we'll take a viewer suggestion. In fact, the person who suggested it was Stasis Orb. And even the descriptor I have in the description box below is pretty much everything verbatim from what he was talking about, plus a couple things I added at the end to put my own twist or flavor into it. But it's loot boxes or Magic the Gathering, yeah, and gambling, which we know it really is. James Willis, what you saying? I have a deck of Wheel of Fortune, and I shuffle that deck all the time. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that must be your Nekuzar deck. Woo-woo.
Wheel of Fortune is a high dollar card.
Yeah. And what is it? So the descriptor I have written down, like I said, I basically copied it off a message that Sorb sent me. He says, gotta hand it to Wizards. They play to the gambling game. They will reprint mini cards, but that doesn't matter. They announce a card like Force of Will or Mana Crypt, and it's up to us, the people, to justify only guaranteed cards will hold value. Maybe Magic is trying to compete with Pokemon. Probably with like the different kinds of styles of cards, treatments, whatever. I don't know on that one particular. That's why you got you guys here. That game was huge before Magic. Like he doesn't mean it came before Magic the Gathering. He knows Magic the Gathering was around first, but Pokemon got huge popularity wise before Magic. To whom is the game for? This is the part where I added stuff. To whom is the game for? And to what is the directive audience for the game anymore? Like, who are they targeting? Like, and I felt that was important to add because there's a lot of times I'm looking at what Magic's doing, and it's hard to figure out if they're really trying to target me or if they're trying to target someone weird or someone new. And by weird, I mean like someone that we never thought of, that maybe they have a demographic for that they don't talk about. Yeah.
Okay. I got a question.
sure.
What does Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh have that Magic does not have?
What does old people Yu-Gi-Oh have what Magic doesn't have?
Yeah, what does Pokemon
Oh,
and Yu-Gi-Oh have that Magic does not have?
Maybe a larger Eastern audience.
A TV show.
Exactly.
That too.
TV show. Magic does not have a TV show. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh did have the cartoons. That's why they sprung up so quick, so big, like they did.
Yeah.
Not only that, but they were targeting kids under the age of 13.
That
Yeah.
true. That too.
So they were able to make 30-minute commercials for kids to watch.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
Magic
one way
has
to
always
look at it.
been. They still haven't changed it for people 13 ages or older.
All right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the reason why they are so big is because they had cartoons where and Magic did not target any of the younger generation.
Right.
Well, their imagery that they had in the early 90s was
Not
definitely
kid-friendly.
questionable in a lot of homes, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so fantasy, violence and stuff like that. Definitely, I wouldn't really want my kid under 10, I guess, really looking at it like in depth, you know. But then again, Magic has kind of toned down itself a bit, and the way
Right.
that modern art kind of portrays itself, to
Mhm.
me, even though it should feel more visceral or whatever, there's something a little bit more subtly eerie about the old art, you know.
Mhm.
Some of it at least.
Well, I
That
mean,
would spook a kid.
one of the old arts had a pentagram on it, made out of blood.
Right,
Oh,
right.
wow.
Right.
Wow.
Then you had cards like Trick Bind that had promiscuous artwork. My mom
Or
said,
Gwendolyn.
Wow.
"Oh yeah, that's true."
Hmm.
Yeah, Gwendolyn, that's right. But like that's the time when my mom's like, "You can never play Magic. Magic is a devil. It's a demonic."
Oh goodness.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
That just
How
cracks
times have
me up.
changed.
You know, it's
Yes.
funny.
I
Yes.
never played it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh.
there has been talk for a cartoon for Magic, but they ain't done it yet.
Well, they're working on a show now. Let's hope it keeps on going and they actually
Yeah,
get
it's
to
supposed to be a
fruition.
Netflix thing.
Right.
Not
So let's
everybody
hope
has
it works.
Netflix.
Then. And they do have shows out there that are based off video games that are doing pretty good. Like I can't remember the name of the show. I think it was like Arcana or something like that. But it was for League of Legends, and that show was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wonder if that's still
Mhm.
on there. I should look that up and watch that today. I was slipping and didn't watch that when it was out and hot.
Right. But the show was pretty good. It was well done. And Wizards has the capability of doing the animation for something like that because they do it all the time with their commercials when they do them. You know, like their little, excuse me, their little shorts.
Mm. Yeah, the one I got trolled on the other day when I was trying to live stream some reaction to the
Right.
freaking previews, and I was live for 30 minutes to see a 15-second trailer. Yeah, that was fun.
I wonder how purpose that was done. Done. They're like, we're gonna do this for fun, and I wonder if how purposefully that went like that. Because because I don't see Magic the Gathering or Wizards of the Coast doing something like that on purpose. You know what I forgot, and gracefully James is reminding us, reminding me, and we're kind of near the middle of the show. Where is it? Boom, 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 boom. Overlays. Yeah, gotta show out cardsartopia.com. I'm gonna get Sweet Magic the Gathering dice bags, dice boxes, or how about some cool lapel pins like this salty pin, or this sarcasm pin made like a D&D sheet piece, or the skull, or the sweet dice bag. Look at that dice bag. You want that dice bag. That dice bag is saucy. Boom. And Hillbilly has a dice bag right there. Go do.
Oh, yeah.
You can find that all at cardsartopia.com. Yeah, boy.
And I'd like to remind everybody when they do go to cardsartopia.com, you never know what you'll find because she's always coming up with new ideas. Always.
Always.
Well, alrighty then.
So I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
skull pen looked kind of cool.
The skull pen looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really want like in the future when I can order, I really want to get a salty pin. That salty
Yeah.
pin is badass.
Yeah.
Because the most clever thing to think of for Magic, I don't know if it was made for Magic the Gathering, but because I know Salty's been a meme for other things.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a perfect meme pin for Magic the Gathering.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
I like that
So,
one.
loot boxes, right? We know. Sorry, I should probably do this. We know they got a new play booster coming out. That's to replace not only set packs but also the regular booster, and they're supposed to combine the two. And they're going to, and so far as we know of, they're charging a hefty price for them, unless something changes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're pretty much making loot boxes out of it even more because not only they're draftable, playable, desirable because you can play them, but have chances of pulling some special loot cards. What kind of loot cards are they doing, right? Then you got your collector's pack, and I don't think they're doing Jumpstart anymore. Like if they're not, that'd be a great thing. If they are, then they need to learn that no one wants really these cards unless they're gonna shove in that loot card that you want to dig for. Like Caverns of Ixalan had what's that artifact that taps for 2 mana for
The Ironclad?
taps for
Artifact
2 mana
Ironclad?
for 0. They did the special ink box stopper.
Missing me on that one, to be honest with
Me
you.
too.
Sorry about that. Personally, I think that Jumpstart has space
Mana Crypt.
in Magic, but oh, is it really Mana Crypt, the 0/1 that taps for 2? How did we not know that off the top? Maybe
Right.
it just wasn't clicking what you were saying from my brain. My bad. Yeah, man, Jumpstart has space in the game if they can redesign it. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe throw box topper in there. I don't think the other boxes in 2020 or 2022 had a box topper, if I recall correctly.
Mhm.
So, maybe they could put a lottery or some sort of thing in there, some expedition type thing. Or if they don't do the box topper, they could just pump up the value in the reprints just a little bit,
One
just
of
dig a
one.
little bit deeper.
Mhm.
One of
Yeah.
one.
Pause Brown, hello. What's up?
What's up, Paul?
So here's something loot boxy gambling wise that I think is probably going to tie into how I feel about the set thus far. Is in Ravnica, the Karlov Manor set.
Uh-huh.
We're getting serialized cards.
Yeah.
And so far, none of the cards they spoiled are super amazing for the set. Like some of the cards are decent, and I think they're gonna hone in on certain strategies that kind of need the extra help. But
Mhm.
nothing's popping out like a super set. So my question is, are they gonna put in serialized cards in sets they know would underperform if they didn't have them? Stasis Orb. How was that a rhetorical
Hello
question?
Let me
there.
pull it. There we go. Drop my mic. How's it going, guys?
What's going
All
on?
right. I have not been impressed with this Clue edition.
Right?
No, it's not Clue, but you know what? But it makes you think of Clue. And so far I ain't been impressed yet. Of course,
Not only that,
it ain't really spoiler season just yet though either.
Mm.
right? Not only that, they made a meme out of meddling kids about Scooby Doo.
Okay, but that's kind of cool
Scooby-Doo.
though. Come on, everybody loves Scooby Doo.
Yep.
I was just
I'm
watching
not
a
big
reel
into
talking about Matthew Lillard, and he was like a really good Shaggy.
He's
You know what I'm
probably the
saying?
best Shaggy ever when it comes to
Yeah.
live action renditions.
I don't know. I've
Like
only
I never
seen the
been
original one.
like I never been really huge into Scooby Doo. In fact, at that time,
Okay.
I'd rather watch Garfield when I was a kid.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Scooby.
Well,
I like me
I mean,
some lasagna too.
yeah, it depends how old you are. I mean, I loved Scooby Doo when I was like under 13. I loved it.
I like
I mean,
Scooby Doo also.
I watched it all the time, and then it went away, and now it came back in I think in the 90s, and all the characters were the same, but they looked different. You know,
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
and the
That must have
voices
been
were
a trip
different.
for you.
Yeah, and then they made a movie, right?
They made several
Yeah.
movies.
Yep.
That's right.
So,
Scooby Doo.
Matthew Lillard's
Where
only
are
one of them.
you?
yeah, so I
That's
don't
right.
know. And
No, the
but
first movie was
Sco-
pretty good. I like the first movie. You know, then they went
Yeah.
too kiddish with the other two movies. But
Stupid
they're,
been around a
they're
long
not without
time.
their faults or their adult jokes either.
Right.
Yeah,
I
you
think they had
better-
to tone it back. They had somebody have a review of the first movie and we're like, all right, guys, we gotta like simmer down a little bit. All right?
Yeah, they got to remember that the main audience is, a certain kid's age. I'd say probably, 8, 9, 10, about 13, 14, but it's probably for all ages, but they have a target audience.
James Willis. Thelma is hot.
Yeah,
Oh, boy. You know what's hot? A nice cooked oven baked lasagna.
Ooh.
I'd
Is
sink
that
my
what you're
teeth
having
into
for
that.
I have a hot
yes.
cooked pizza right now.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
You know what else
Can't
is
go
hot?
wrong with
Mhm.
A hot toddy.
Hot toddy. Hot
Oh,
toddy.
yeah.
Right.
Heck yeah. It's 8 o'clock in my part, so I'm gonna make breakfast soon. Y'all
Yeah.
talking about lasagna and pizza. I'm like, yeah, it's a little heavy for my stomach.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
so far,
it's 12:30 here.
Oh, nice.
so far,
There you go.
we're planning to have lasagna and bake a ham for Christmas.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh,
Heck
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
y'all talking about food, I did this.
Oh.
If it works
It is
out,
lunchtime for me.
if it works out for Christmas, I'm going to have
I will
prime rib.
eat.
Nice.
Nice. I will eat all of that except for the donuts. Not a big donut fan.
I like
Donuts.
a glazed donut. I don't like filled donuts too much.
Oh,
You know what? I like
like
donuts around the hole. I don't like the hole of the donut.
I like Krispy Kreme.
Oh, so much
Oh.
sugar. Oh my
So
god.
much
Yeah.
sugar.
Oh yeah. Enough sugar
Nah,
for
I'm
a
Cannot do a
week.
Krispy Kreme donut.
Yeah, I'm more of a bear claw apple fritter guy.
I like a bear claw every now and then. So that's
All
fair.
right, there we go. We found a
Yeah.
middle ground.
There we go. Yeah, that's right.
Stay Sorb, the guy who knows how to cook and bake, doesn't like desserts like that.
Yep.
Yeah, Richie, I see you in chat there. How about if you glaze the donut with some special butter, bro?
I don't know if Stacey Sorb remembers, but I used to buy cake because it was cheap, like cake box mix, and then make them at
Okay.
home just to eat throughout the day and stuff.
Yep.
My mom, she used to like those apple fritters.
I love apple fritters. I love them when you can find them with
Yeah.
bacon bits on them too.
Oh my God.
Okay, guys, I think we've rabbit trailed way too far from magic.
Oh. Yeah.
Maybe
Sorry
there's a
about that.
fruitcake magic card. Fruitcake.
All right.
Or what was that? Thrown a bell drain, baked pie, or something like that. What was
Right.
that?
No,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but years ago there was a Christmas promo.
Right.
Oh,
Fruitcake
it was.
Monster or something like that. Yeah, it was like
That's so
it's
awesome.
expensive. It's very expensive.
The evil fruitcake.
Yeah, it was. I think that card's like probably like $300-400 now.
Ooh.
Imagine,
Oh, jeez.
because it was only like a limited time promo, and they gave it to store owners only.
Wow, super premium.
Yeah. Yep.
Ah, here
Part
we
of
go.
that gambling aspect, you know.
I
Yeah,
Well,
the
got
card
that
is
is
a little-
that's just a direct like Wizards of the Coast saying thank you.
When they used to do that so well back in the day.
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
No, dude, you remember when they used to mail us cards in the mailbox?
Yeah,
Even though I never got mine.
I redeemed my points and they never sent me anything. And so I directly emailed them saying, hey, I submitted my points. I have enough to at least earn the foil of the year or whatever. And then they were like, oh, we're out, but we'll send you this whole group. It's like this whole package of full art foils that we have. So I got like a play set of the full art foil lightning bolts. I got a full art supreme. Oh no. Yeah. Supreme Verdict. Cause I was supposed to get Wrath of God and Damnation. but I didn't get any of those.
Hmm.
Ooh, what's
What
it?
is that?
Those would have been really cool.
Fruitcake
Yeah,
elemental.
there it is.
There
it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
He speaks the truth, boys. Oh man.
That's funny. Yeah, that's right. For kick out, but yeah. So, kind of back on topic. I'm just glad we had fun, got to relax, talk about food. Which is Hillbilly's like number one topic that I ever to talk about. Well, yeah. So, what we were on, we were discussing like the weirdness of the sets before I got into Scooby Doo. Because Scooby Doo was the segue we got into food. Because I think in the back of our minds, we know how much Shaggy and Scooby love to eat.
Yeah.
And I said lasagna because of Garfield. So
It was you.
Scooby snacks.
You.
Uh-oh. But no, but seriously though, it's like like they try making these super fun packs to open, which I don't mind a fun pack. I think the play boosters are like a great idea. The way they did it. But like the price tag, nah. Like we were talking about Ravnica and we're talking about the serialized cards, and so far the set kind of seems a little mundane from what we're used to, but it looks like they're trying to add more cards with abilities that need more fleshing out for like commander or cubes and stuff like that.
And are you referring to the new cards in the set or reprinted cards?
The new cards. Not referring to reprints.
Okay.
Reprints. So does
'Cause
Wizard print cards and make them like they print expensive cards so you can collect them or whatever, or they just put out cards and whatever the masses do with them, that's how they get their value or their powers.
I suppose the customer will consume the product as they will, and that
Right.
varies with each individual. But if I'm maybe seeing between the lines of what you're trying to ask, so there's a classic card that's called Disenchant. It's a white card for 2 mana, and it just destroys target artifact or enchantment. That's it. It's very simple. It's a 1-for-1 trade. I cast this, that goes bye-bye. And that was made in alpha and beta way back in 93. And it actually was recently reprinted in one of the standard sets as of 2023. So that would qualify as a reprint.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm not asking the question right, but I think you got on it. If Wizard puts out a card, or prints a card, or prints a reprint, and their notion is to print it and have the value of it $10, just say, but you got to buy the pack or you buy the single. So who sets the price on the sale of card? I know that you get a pack, but then you get cards in the pack that some are worth 10 cents and some are worth $1.
I mean, that's a good question,
I
honestly.
I can chime in a little bit on that.
Thanks, Stasis.
Yeah, for sure. So Wizards will market certain cards. As I sent Derek a message, and he kind of used it today, which is really awesome. But like Wizards of the Coast will like announce a very expensive card in a set to get people to buy their product.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it runs. Everyone wants to be like, oh, hey, we're gonna put Force of Will in this set, which is a very expensive Magic card, and then everybody will go crazy to buy that set because they're like, oh, I got to get that Force Will. It's just a marketing ploy, basically.
Oh, gotcha. So you answered my question there.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Right, because it's interesting to see the evolution of how Wizards nowadays. Orb got into Magic, where he got back into Magic, Wizards used to focus on the artwork of cards and use that to sell the products because it looked cool. You know,
Yep.
no matter if the card was bad. I mean, shielding plaques was a major, large piece of cardboard that was sitting in the front of stores. Compared to everything else in standard, but the artwork looked pretty cool for what it was, and they sold it for Dissension, which is a Magic set. Now, when they sell a set, they'll show off their most expensive card. Wizards used to not know or care how the secondary market looked, and they also didn't know what cards were going to overperform. Hence, why we got like some banned cards, why we got a reserve list. Well, partially why we got a reserve list. There's certain cards they just didn't know was going to be so powerful. Like for a while, Jace the Mind Sculptor, they didn't realize how powerful it was going to be. Now they keep a close eye on cards like that. So when they come out with it, they'll post it, show it, and be like, look at this awesome card. They got a really good team now that kind of focuses on the demographic of what's really good, or they look what's good in the set, and you're like, well, this will complement that deck really well. Let's push that because that'll be a money card. So it really went from not understanding the secondary market and making cards just because they love to making cards and play testing them as best good to now they focus on certain cards to be an overperformer. Hence why we got like Shieldred, the Apocalypse, and stuff like that. They realized they can design cards that will change formats and be worth money. It's insane.
Yeah, I guess it is insane because I'm not looking at it as a. I'm not looking at the game right now as making money. I'm looking at the game as getting started in cards and figuring out the value of the card for the game. That's what I'm focused on. You know, I know you got. I know you all you have cards that are worth have monetary value, and it goes up and down as Derek shows on his what's that mover and shakers section. So that's anyway. That's what I'm interested in. What cards are the best ones to beat somebody with.
Right.
Well, one thing about Magic, every deck can always be beat.
Yeah.
Right.
You not always win. You're going to get beat, but you're also going to beat other people.
So mono red burn is kind of a meme in the Magic community because it's one color, one basic strategy, turn sideways and burn your opponent down as fast as you can. And what's interesting about it is that it essentially be a pile of pennies. Like you can make an actual budget modern burn deck for $5 to $20, especially if you find the stuff secondhand and not at an LGS. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And another thing that kind of drives prices in directions they go nowadays. Back in the day when Magic was, back in 2005 when Andrew and I got back into Magic, or I got into Magic for the first time, he got back into Magic. The only people who were selling cards were mainly the game stores, like selling singles and stuff. There wasn't too many people on the side. The internet wasn't big enough for people to sell cards, flip them. So the game store was important. It was huge. The brick and mortar store was the place to go to play, which the brick and mortar store is still one of the premier places to play, assuming that your store is a good store. But now, one thing that kind of drives prices weird. Everybody and their dog is trying to buy and flip cards, so they're trying to buy cards on the cheap. They're trying to sell them at the best value. So the market for Magic cards is more open, and I think Wizards saw that. Not that people were buying cards for cheap, but these people who are trying to flip cards are buying their product beforehand when possible, increasing their sales on top of many other factors that Wizards could be making lots of money from. Like, because you got the regular players who buy product and stuff. but the flippers and stuff are buying this product to flip, especially good product, and it's pushing Wizards to be like, oh, if all these people are buying product, maybe we should print more. And when they come up with the packs, they're like, let's design packs, because on top of flippers flipping cards, because a lot of the flippers we see on YouTube are selling and slinging cards like through pool games or pack openings, buy pack, I open it on my channel and mail it to you, kind of thing. So it's interesting how the dynamic of Magic has changed from a collector's point of view. Because like it's to me, it's kind of hard to like look at a collection and be like, well, that's amazing, when everybody's showing off all these cards that they're opening for people, selling in packs, and flipping them like crazy. I mean, on YouTube, there's like 5 people that do that. I don't know. On Whatnot, people are doing it all day long. Twiddler showed me the route to go. Even James Willis showed me a couple of people who do this kind of stuff.
It could just be that that's the ecosystem now, man. You know,
Yeah,
times
well,
kind of change.
it
And it's
is
funny
the time
because I was
changing.
thinking while you were talking earlier, or just now, uh, my first online Magic purchase was, I think, like 2009 or 2010. And of all things, I bought a Grave Titan for like
Hell
12
yeah.
bucks.
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
Great
So it
Titan.
was from MTG Fanatic or something like that. I forgot what the website was, but it's debunked now. It's not a website anymore. So
Right,
you
right.
know.
And I'm not dogging on these people selling, right? But all I'm trying to get into this little gambling thing is Wizards is trying to compensate their packs because they realize that people are opening their packs on camera. Hence why set boosters got so huge. Would you rather just open a basic pack of Magic cards that's just for draft, or would you like to open a pack that makes your channel bling out with cool looking renditions of cards? You know, so people are buying set packs to open up more often. And plus, I loved opening set packs just because I love seeing the different kind of cards.
So I'm
You
gonna
know,
ask Stasis Orb a question, and that
knock yourself
might
out.
speak on that topic there. Stasis
Yes.
Orb, thanks, bud. Do you recall when Mythics entered the game and how like kind of crazy it was for people?
Yeah. People were kind of upset by it,
Yeah.
especially with like the people were upset with the chances or whatever. Because when I don't know if the statistics still hold true, but at the time when Mythics first came out, they were like, yeah, there's 1 in every 5 packs. So if you buy 5 packs, you're guaranteed a Mythic, and or something like that. But
Right.
I don't know what the statistics for that is now, but that used to be the play. But everyone was like, why do we need another rarity?
Mm-hmm.
Like what happened? Like why are planeswalkers getting bumped? Because that was the time when planeswalkers got bumped up to mythic, right?
Right.
And and people were upset because they're like so now it's even harder for me to get a hold of a card. So great, yeah. Like people
Making
were
the chase that much more difficult.
exactly because if you look at Lorwyn Block, the 1st set that had planeswalkers released into the world of Magic, they were rare. they were all rares.
Yeah.
All 5 of
Yep.
them. None of them
Yep.
were mythic.
Well, people, hold on a second. My blanket keeps falling down, and I don't want a cat to jump on this. So people, not people. Yeah. Let me get back to my thought. So people we're talking about beforehand and talked about afterwards. There's like secret rarities in Magic the Gathering already. Like you can have that uncommon that just seems impossible to pull. That's like harder than a mythic to pull, or just as hard as a mythic to pull. Same with like maybe a rare. It's just more difficult.
Or
to
even
pull.
some of the tokens, like the
Right.
Goblin Shaman from Fable the Mirror Breaker.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's just insane that you know, rarity. Someone was talking about. I can't remember who was talking about. It was another channel. Rarity is like subjective because things like that just happen. Like some mythic rares are more easy to pull than a rare itself, and some rares are harder to pull than the average mythic. So it's like, what's the point of the rare? How do the sheets work? You know, and this is where people will be like, I want more clarity from Wizards of the Coast on how they set the packs. Or you get someone in particular, I won't mention names, who's doing exactly what he dogs Wizards on doing, but he did what Wizards does and formulated their own idea of a booster pack and did you're guaranteed to get this kind of a card out of so many packs and stuff. And he's like, I don't like that, but here he did it. I thought it was funny. You know, it's and I bring that up because Wizards is learning how to set the booster pack up to be boom, mind blowing, how to be exciting, to get you addicted to their pool game, get you addicted to their little.
Don't do Magic, kids.
Right? you know, because not to blame capitalism, but it is capitalism. If they can sell you on something for life, they will.
Play Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pokemon. Someone was telling
Pokemon.
me that people collect Pokemon more than they play in general.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. It's really, really huge. It was funny though. Back in my middle school, freshman year of high school, everyone used to like people. There was like this big battle. Like wasn't physical at all, but it was like the Yu-Gi-Oh players were like, play Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's better, and I was like, play Magic, Magic is better.
The school
Our
ground
players are over there
feuds.
looking at like, those guys are dumb.
James
Yeah,
Willis said he remembers when people lost their damn minds when Planeswalkers were new. Some people loved them and some people hated them.
I still know. Fun fact: I still know Liliana was the very first Planeswalker to get revealed, and nobody knew what the heck it was. Everyone thought it was a joke. Everyone's like, "What does it do?" Like it has abilities on it, but
Like, how do you use it? What are the plus ones and negative zeros? For,
yeah, what is that? What are all these numbers on this card mean?
Can you just keep adding, or can you use each ability?
Oh
once
my
a
gosh,
turn?
that pre-release was so funny. Well, not funny, but kind of bad. I felt bad for the judges because during that event, people were playing Planeswalkers so incorrectly. They were like activating them during each player's turn. Oh my god!
Oh no!
Yeah,
A total dumpster fire.
Oh, it was all the judges were. I talked to there was a guy. I think his name was Jeremy, but he was one of the judges there. I talked to him like the day after, and he's like, "Dude, this was like the worst thing to happen."
Why?
Walker questions. Like everyone's like, "How does it work? What does it do? How do I use this?"
That's why I like Jamie.
I have all those questions.
If there's like a new mechanic he felt people should realize or a new card type people should know, he'll spend the time during the pre-release to explain the ability, how it works, and if you have questions, ask.
For sure. But
You know?
even still, the concept of Planeswalkers when they first got introduced, like that was going to happen.
Right. But I'd like
because like you have this whole other entity over here on the battlefield that you can attack.
Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I remember when Planeswalkers came out, I didn't hate them. I didn't like them because they were just different. And I'm like, what's the point of having something that people can attack other than saving yourself a little bit of life? What's the cool thing about these abilities? I was so creature based back then because I was so used to creatures. I was like, what can my creatures do that are better than Planeswalkers? Then I remember the first Planeswalker I ever played with was not the first Planeswalker I opened ever. The first Planeswalker I ever opened out of a pack was Jace the Mind Sculptor, which there's a story to Stasis Orb on that I find funny. That's just between me and him. But like the first Planeswalker I ever played with was with Groot, the Wild Speaker. And
that's my boy.
Right, Groot the Wild Speaker, because I love green, and I built a deck that one of my friends lost, and right, and And yeah, and the one using like on Grook's ability, Grook as a planeswalker being like an enchantment where he lets me untap 2 forest the turn was pretty powerful for my creature based strategies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be forced. It can be any 2 lands.
Right. Well, in a mono
that's
green deck,
awesome.
of course. Yeah.
Especially if you have them enchanted with like wild growths and stuff.
He was insanely good.
Mhm.
At the peak, I think he hit like maybe like a $40 card, 30, 40, somewhere in that ballpark. Because elves were really, really huge during the Lorwyn time.
Okay.
And his he had a -4 ability, so you can literally ult him the next turn. And his -4 is overrun. Creatures you control get +3/+3 and trample. So you would play like a 1-drop elf into a 2-drop elf into a 1-drop and a 2-drop elf, and then turn 4 you drop Garruk, untap 2 lands, play another elf, and then you would overrun the following turn. Sometimes you could do it on turn 3 because that elf deck it played Lamor elves and it played Boreal Druid, which were both mana elves. And so you'd play them turn 3 and untap 2 lands, play a couple more elves, and then you would overrun on turn 4 and just kill your opponent. It was enough to kill your opponent. So yeah, it was a very, very popular deck. It was green black elves, and it was up against blue black fairies. But then they printed one of the core sets that came after Lorwyn came out with a card called Masticore.
Masticore, who
It was
just
a 5/5,
dominated the format for a
5/5
while.
first striker, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, obviously it has the Masticore effect where you have to discard a card, and then it lightning bolted, and it regenerated, I do believe, which is why elves had a problem with they couldn't beat that card. That card would just shut elves down because it was like kill your best thing, blocks really well, attacks really well. Like it was just a very like elves had no.
It was all upside.
Yep. Yeah, literally. Yeah, like elves could not beat that card at all.
I remember running the Masticore in a Reanimator deck back then. I mean, the Masticore was solid.
Yeah. Yeah, the card was so brutal for elves, and that's why elves didn't actually win. I think there was like a big, I think it was states or no regionals that year because elves was up there at like top tier, but it didn't win. Fairies took it because fairies was really, really stupid.
Yeah.
I love me some flying.
Bell Stutter Sprite and terrible. Yeah, it was.
You think that was bad? You remember when fairies were huge?
That was then. That was that right there.
Right.
That was the freaking nameless inversion. Yeah.
That was. Remember the zombie deck I built? That was pretty badass. I still proud about it.
Zombies held up for a while, but they just got destroyed by fairies.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did well against fairies. That's what was pretty good about it. Like they didn't always win against fairies, but they held up. Like you, so I went through this phase where I'd build a deck, and I wouldn't know how to navigate it, so I just hand it off to Andrew here, and I'd be like, "Can you play this? Test it out?" And you'd be like, "Okay, sure."
Yeah.
And, and my zombie deck
just come back and be like, "It lost. Here you go."
Yeah.
I would give him honest feedback. I'm one of those, I'm that kind of person.
Yeah.
But I will say this: during that time, fairies had the most busted card, one of the most busted cards in all of history of Magic. It was
man.
There you go. I hate that card so much. That card, dude. I went to states.
Mm-hmm.
Or regionals. Was it? Yeah, it was regionals, and the number of cryptic commands that I saw, I'm just like, I am so sick of that card. Even my friends were like, yeah, every time I go to do some cryptic command, I'm gonna do this cryptic command, I'm gonna do that cryptic command. It's like,
oh, it's annoying, man. Yeah, I got stomped down on Moto the other day from that card, and I was like, really?
Yeah, card is so degenerate. Like, why does it do the things it does? Even at triple blue. Look, you know your card's broken because I went to regionals that year with it was called 4CC control, 4-color control, right? It played cryptic command. a 4-color deck is playing Cryptic Command.
That's busted.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a good thing they never made a full art textless version of Cryptic Command.
Or did they?
That card just needs to go away. Go away forever.
Well, the Cryptic Command is not as powerful as it used to be, but like in today's meta. But I remember hating counter spells for a long time because of that card.
The homie Matt Caster Mage had a fundraiser to get a new PC, and during that fundraiser, I actually bought his foil Cryptic Command.
Oh
Cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I rock it in my modern mill.
no, one of those cards I
bad
personally want to get a copy of.
I know, right? It was a certain circle in hell for me, I guess. Oh, goodness.
Oh, it's one of those cards I want to get in the future, just to add to my collection, because it is nostalgic. Because it was a major time in my life where I was playing Magic like crazy. I mean, there was a huge section of our life where if Andrew and I weren't working, we were at the game store playing Magic all day, every day. You know. And that's how it went.
It was like, come home from work. Hey, you want to go to the card shop? Yeah, cool. Let's go.
Yeah.
Heck
That's how it
yeah,
went.
man. That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
All right,
everybody
everybody.
work, right?
It's time to roll this up because I got plans with the wife today. They're gonna start very
You
shortly,
do.
so I gotta hang up the towel. I gotta say I gotta go. Adios. But remember, if you have gambling problems, you can always turn to Walmart. Okay, go to Walmart, buy a Magic Pack.
Hasta luego.
All right, William, song of the day.
That's the way to go.
Song of the day. Mississippi was wanting us to say, listen to the Bee Gees, "Staying Alive." You know, staying alive, staying alive. You know. All right, and want to thank you everybody for showing up today. Thank you for the topic of the day. Thank you for the topic of the day, Andrew. And if anybody ever wants a topic for the day, they're welcome to share their idea. Share the thought. I usually try, and I'm trying to improve, and I'm trying to let more people into being customizable. I'm forgetting something.
I didn't know I was customizable. That's dope.
The show.
It's like a Mr. Potato Head.
Well, you're talking about the show being customizable. Yes, it is customizable. I want people to feel like they can influence the show and have something to do with it because it makes them feel important. It makes them feel good.
Importante.
Makes people feel good when they feel like they have like a little leeway to help out. You know, a little leeway to be a part of the show. But anyways, so we talk about really quick. That's what I forgot. Before we close out, hold on. Okay, hit that button, and we got to do boom.
What?
Movers and shakers, yes. So right here we got Mandrake Glory Dominus going up 4%, $31. Jameer Garden going up to $14.72 at 4%. Death Cap Glade going up 4%. Man, there's a lot of movement in these areas. That's pretty good. Man, we got Tekuma Abandoned Mire going up 6% to $8. That's pretty good. And we got Fable the Marebreaker going up 2% to $18. Woo woo. Which is funny because I was looking at another list and I should have probably kept the other list, but Smuggler Copter is back up to a $10 card.
Yeah.
It jumped back up to $10. Look at that.
Yeah. We got Tali Primal Conqueror going down 2% to 2022. I don't think the card's worth that much money, but it is powerful. Herbarask's Forge has gone down to 211. This card has gone down 2 weeks straight, like no upside for it.
Nice.
I guess someone banned a card from the format that stalled it. And then, anyways, you got Trumpeting Carnosaur, which I would need a copy of this card, going down 2% to 1556 or $36. We got Hallowed Haunting, which is still $15. Like, where am I? Hallowed Haunting. Yeah, $16. That's still pretty good for that card. Like, I see cards like Sigil the Empty Throne. I'm wondering why this card's so expensive. But maybe because Sigil the Empty Throne see more reprints. Cavern of Souls gone down a little bit to $34. It went up a little bit, so this card is just stable. That's what it is. Sorry if I messed
Good
up on that
card.
one.
Good
but
card.
good card. Right. Well, I wanted to get that done. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you, TCG dude, for hanging out today. I know
Absolutely.
Mondays and Fridays are kind of your deal, but you're always welcome in if you want to jump in anytime. Hillbilly,
Well, thank you.
All right.
you're still handsome. I'm sorry, but you got to cut that hair. You need my haircut. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody's goal is to look like me. You know,
That's
the
right.
goal.
Bearded
You
and
know,
bald. All right. Stay Sorb. Thank you for showing up. I was hoping you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, your input was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Well, he
Yeah,
works
very
too.
awesome.
He probably got to work in an hour himself.
I actually got back from work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not for the rest of the day. Thank you.
Joke's on
your
you,
day's gonna
Tortoise.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's like your days shift between morning shifts and night shifts. It seems like.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right.
I mean, there's only 2 ships available, or 2
Yep.
ships that exist at my job. So either opening or closing.
All right, Cookie dude. We'll get together this week. Like I said, probably
Okay.
Thursday. Try to hook you up on Spell Table.
All righty. I copied the link, so should have it. All right. Thank you.
All right. Peace, everybody. Play
Peace out.
wise.
Shockwave! What is your command, Megatron?
Subscribe for Magic the Gathering and other content for evil fun.
Fear not, Megatron.